guys, and welcome to another mobility video. You are going to be led through a mobility routine where I'm also going to show you modifications that you can make. I'm going to talk pretty much all the way through this, keeping you right as we go. So we're going to go into the first one, which is a downward dog. You're going to put your palms on the floor with your fingers facing forward, and then you're going to have a little spacing between your feet, pushing your heels down onto the ground. Now, don't worry if you can't quite get your heels down. Just aim to do that, ease them down to the ground. You're going to push your shoulders down through between your arms. None of these positions need forcing. Just relax into them. Take nice deep breaths. So you're going to take a nice long deep breath in. And then as you breathe out, you try and relax a little bit further into the position. We're just going to stay here for another 10 seconds. Okay, and then we're going to transition through into cobra position. So if you cannot push straight up onto your hands like this, then you can go ahead and you can be down on your elbows. And this is fine, just trying to push yourself up. Or it might be that you've got some sort of support, you can get a little bit higher, but maybe you can't quite get right up onto your hands. That's absolutely fine. You just hang out the place that feels challenging for you and that doesn't feel like it's going to be pushing it too far. So we're just in this one for 1 minute as well, another 20 seconds. Nice long deep breaths. 10 seconds. Then we're going to step our left leg forward into a lunge position. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and do that. Keep your hands in front of you there. Bring your left foot forward so that you're in the lunge position. Now, it might be that this is too challenging for you. So it could be that being up here is as far as you can get for now. Leaning on something, holding on to something, just to make it more doable is absolutely fine. There's no right or wrong, but you know that you're aiming over time to ease your hips down towards the floor a little bit more and get your hands down here. And now as we move on, you might actually find that you can even get your elbows down onto the ground. So we're going to hang here for a little second, another 20 seconds. And then we're going to move into a pigeon stretch. So we're going to stay with our left leg and we're going to fold it underneath us. Now, if you're very flexible, you might be able to go ahead and lie straight down here. But it might be that you really struggle with this. Tucking your heel further underneath your body is definitely going to make this easier to do. You are trying to keep your hips square, facing towards the ground and not like rotated off to the side. So you're trying to stay in this forward facing position with your hips as well. If you find this quite easy, bring your shin a little further forward and hang out there. So you can hang out there on your hands. If you find this incredibly difficult, then what I suggest is putting your shin in the same position but on a raised surface like a chair. And that will make it much easier for you. We've just got another 15 seconds here. Okay, we're going to roll over so you can sit down now. Bring your other leg forward, reach it off out to the side, and we're going to lean our torso down towards our thigh. So this one probably not too bad for a lot of people, but you might find that getting your leg straight, maybe your hamstrings are super tight, and getting your leg straight might be a bit of a challenge. Focus on that rather than the leaning forward, okay? So focus on your leg, your knee pushing down into the ground rather than leaning down into it. You might find that you're up here somewhere. That's fine. Again, feel free to use supports to allow yourself to ease into it. And equally, if you're very flexible, just go ahead and lean right down there. We're only here for another 10 seconds. Then we're going to move back to the lunge position, but on our right leg. Okay, so rotate round into the lunge position, just as we did before, hanging out here. If you're very flexible, you can go ahead and put your elbows straight down onto the ground. That's absolutely fine. So nice long deep breaths. Whatever version of this you can manage is absolutely fine. This foot stays on the floor. You're easing this knee out to the side. Nothing's forced. Nice long deep breaths. Especially on the exhale, try and lean into it further. Another 15 seconds. And then we're going to move back into the pigeon stretch, but on our right leg this time. Okay, so we go into the pigeon stretch. So same rules apply on this side as the other side. If you find this too challenging, remember you can be more upright, you can prop yourself up. Just try not to force the position, try and relax into it and allow your hips to push down towards the ground. Twenty seconds. Okay, we're going to rotate round. Again, leaning our torso down towards our extended leg, or focusing on keeping this leg straight. Don't be surprised if one side is considerably different from the other. That's okay. It's not necessarily desirable, but it is normal. Another 30 seconds. Okay, and we're going to just bring the soles of our feet together and we're going to lean forward. So you're looking at leaning your torso forward, reaching your palms out. Again, you might find this really challenging. You might find this position challenging. Maybe your knees don't want to push down towards the sides and you're sitting in this position here. That's fine. Just try and push yourself through slightly into a position that's pushing your range but not forcing it. Again, remember to relax and breathe. We've got another 30 seconds here. And it's not your face you're pushing forward, it's your belly button and your chest you're reaching down with. 10 seconds. And then our last one is the puppy dog. So just spin round onto your knees, hands out in front and letting your face come down towards the ground. You can absolutely go ahead and rest your head on the ground, that's fine. But mostly you're looking at bringing your shoulders down through. So you'll notice I'm not sitting my hamstrings down onto my calves, okay? Thumbs up in the air, hands are outstretched, and you're trying to relax down through your upper back. Just another 30 seconds here. 10 seconds. Okay, and then we can come out of it. So that was a really short routine. It was just 10 minutes long, 1 minute on each movement. But if you strung them together, once you know where your ranges are, and you know where your positions are, and you strung those movements together, you could get a nice 10-minute flow through some stretches there. Don't worry if you struggle with certain ranges. The more often you do this, every day preferably, over the longer term you'll still get an improvement. So rather than try to do 1 hour once a week, try and aim for 10 minutes a day or every other day, and you will definitely see progress as the months go by. Thank you for joining me.